world? It's your boy Tommy D, the nonprofit sector connector. You know the whole thing, Long Island Changemakers and that island tunes, man, those island vibes. I like to say strong island vibes, Long Island vibes, man. We're having fun, but that music puts me in a good mood, man. I feel mellowed out. I feel nice and calm. Yeah, I'm calm. I feel, I'm never calm, man, but I feel nice and chill when I listen to those tunes. I have my friend Theo here with me. I'm excited. Nam Studios, Nam Media. I was on your show a couple weeks back, man. This show, we always talk about people doing really cool work here on Long Island. We're gonna get right into it. Let's move right on to my man. What's going on, brother?
Nothing much. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Let's shake hands. We're just meeting. Like we haven't been hanging out for the last hour, right? What? I always like that. Like I always think about like on regular talk shows, like on like late night talk shows. They're like, oh my God, it's so great to see you. I'm like, why were you talking to that guy backstage like 20 minutes ago? And you're going out for a slice of pizza or a steak later on tonight. Like, you know, you don't have to fake it up. So we were hanging out. We were having some Jamaican beef patties and stuff like that. Cuban sandwiches, you and me. So I really figured since you're doing such great things, you know, whether it be with NAM, with Long Island Select Healthcare, with Lish and the marketing team over there, all the great stuff you're doing to add value, as I say, to the nonprofit sector with the nonprofit program. So you just joined the nonprofit resource hub with us. So much cool stuff going on. So I figured, why don't we go back, man? Because I know we spent like 3 hours, which we're not going to do now, but we spent like 3 hours in your office kind of kicking it one day. Tell me your story, man. What's your background? How did you end up getting into the work you're doing? And what are you doing now?
How did I get into it? My background? I don't know. It's just one of those things where I feel like one thing I've always felt like that interested me is like when you meet people, they've always lived many lives. Yeah. People have always lived many lives.
So it's not just like that one profession. And
it's like you talk to someone, they're like, I did this, I did that, now I'm doing this. And it's just like, wow, you've lived about 3, 4, 5 lives, right? And that always interested me because I didn't think I lived a lot of lives. But now as like you're asking me that question, like I guess I have lived a lot of lives.
I love that. And you got money more to live, man.
Yeah. And it's not nowhere near done.
No, far from it. Yeah. So, well, so let's go back. Let's say like you're 15 years old. Okay. Right? You grew up here in New York?
Yep.
Okay. So did you kind of, if you can go like project, like we're going to project Namaste, right? Back to when you're 15. And you're like, what am I going to do when I grow up, man?
I was never one of those 15-year-olds that really thought that far. I know there's like, you know, my kids, probably your kids, are just like, I want to be this when I grow up. I remember saying like I wanted to be a marine biologist.
Okay, that's
when
cool.
I grew up.
Why do you think that happened?
Because I love animals. I love the sea. I love the ocean.
All right.
Like, you know, to me, a vacation is not a vacation unless I'm surrounded by sea, sand, and palm trees.
Dude, if I never had to wear closed shoes ever again, and I could just always be barefoot or flip-flops, that would be perfect for me.
If I could just go snorkeling, fishing, live off seafood, like that would be me.
Yeah.
So I've always wanted to be a marine biologist.
That sounds like Moana. You should be in Moana.
You should see my daughters. They look like Moana.
Okay.
They look like Moana.
You know, I just saw that last Moana movie. And I don't know, maybe it's Moana 3 or 2, I don't really, is it 2? I saw it, and that's just a great story. You know, it's a story about like she has to go do the hero's journey and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and it's not like male focused about finding like a husband or a prince.
No. She was about her. Yeah. She was empowered, and she was going to do really cool things, and she was going to fight the battle and the whole thing. And
as a girl dad, that's like something I love to see and love to hear now that I'm getting older and everything. But 15. Holy Cross High School.
Biologist. Holy Cross
High School, all boys high school at the time. Graduated.
Mine still is. Mine still is. So Chaminade, class of '96. I don't know. I'm not very involved anymore at all, in fact. But I don't think Chaminade ever goes co-ed. But I know the others, like a bunch of my friends, guys from my cousins, guys that we grew up hanging around with, Malloy guys. Malloy went co-ed. Holy Cross co-ed, right? Yeah. All right, so take me back. You're in high school.
Graduated high school, did a year at CW Post, Long Island University, CW Post. Did my last 3 years at University of Texas, San Antonio. Graduated with international marketing and minor in psychology, behavioral psychology. And so came back home, was just like, what am I going to do? Graduated 2010, height of the financial crisis, there are no jobs. cousin got me into working for Local 3 Electricians Union.
Oh, is that
I
right?
was supposed to be a journeyman. They weren't hiring at the time. Ended up working on the admin side, working my way up from being an estimator to a project manager.
Really? I did not know you had anything to do with Local 3. Both my wife's brothers were Local 3 years ago, yeah.
Local 3 project manager for 10 years before I was just like, let me go back to my marketing roots and start my own agency.
So if I'm doing the math right, 10 years, that's 2020-ish, somewhere around
2019
there?
is when I opened up Now Media, yeah. And the funny thing about that is Now Media originally started as a food production or food service.
What does that mean?
Because I was a big foodie, and so I wanted to create like a Food Network-ish type of stuff.
Really?
Yeah. So that's where Nom
like
came
nom,
from.
Nom Nom, like that?
Yeah,
that's what it means?
Yeah, well, not anymore.
Not anymore.
But yeah.
What is that an acronym for something? NOM?
Natural Organic Marketing. Yes.
Dude, it's so funny. I try to like not let people know behind the scenes that like, you know, I changed my shirt, like this is a new day and everything like that. But no, we just did a food show with Eddie Sosa in here, and who knew? I had no idea that you had that background.
Yeah, and I didn't say anything. I didn't want to take his thunder.
No, I had no idea, dude. So that's so cool. So and that kind of, I like manufactured that whole thing so you could be on the show with us, and I had no idea. So what was that connection to food?
It was just, I was a huge foodie. Me and my wife were like huge foodies. Like whenever, I don't know if anybody else is like this, but whenever we go on vacation, it's always based around like the food.
What is
like,
it? You mean the local food, or like these are the spots we're gonna hit restaurants when we get there?
Well, like we pick a place, and then once we pick a place, we're just like, what are the spots with the local food? What are the restaurants you want to
And
eat?
that could be, you're talking international, like, or Caribbean?
Well, usually wherever we are. I'm the type of person that's like, if we're going Caribbean, if we're going international, if we're going Asia, Europe, don't give me Western cuisine.
Okay, so you want to be in it, like just kind of immersed in whatever the culture of the food, the whole thing. Got it.
You know, you could go down to the buffet and be like, "There's the breakfast there," but I want to know what the guy behind who's cooking my
what he's actually gonna have.
What did he have for breakfast?
Right. Like I don't want a waffle just because you think I'm from like New York. I want a waffle.
No,
like,
I don't want a waffle. I get a waffle back in New York.
Right.
So it started as that food type of company where it was just like I wanted to create like a production.
Oh, that's awesome.
But then it was just like, how do I make it, how do I get an ROI from it?
Yeah.
So we started doing, I used my marketing background to start providing videos for different small restaurants and all this stuff. And then I started charging for it. And then we got into the marketing side. And then that's when it was just like, ooh, like the whole network thing isn't a thing, but like, we have strength in our video production, we have strength in our marketing.
So let me stop you. So when the whole network wasn't a thing, because at first you saw it as like you would create a network and then make programming to go on the network?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and then we started charging for all that stuff, and so that's where we kind of pivoted into that marketing agency / video production house.
Is that, yeah, so when you think of the studio and the marketing company, do you think like, oh, this is what was supposed to happen? Or do you kind of in your mind go, I really want that still, like that whole like the Food Network idea?
I was just talking about this the other day, and I don't know. I would say that right now the goal is to become a national or multinational marketing agency and production house that is inclusive and provides high value creative marketing and production to whether you're big or small business. That is the goal. So like what I was talking about the other day to I forgot who was, you're standing here, out there is the mountain. You know you're gonna get to the top of that mountain and you're standing here. You know that you just have to start walking. Are you gonna cross an ocean, a lake, a desert? I don't know the journey, but I know I want to get to the top of that mountain, and I'm getting there to the top of that mountain.
Right.
But how do I get there? I don't know.
Right, and
I'm just gonna start walking.
And I think that's cool to be like unattached to whatever that pathway or roadmap is, and just be like, I'm getting there, and we're going to see what happens on the way there.
Yeah, and that's what it is,
dig the journey, right?
The journey has been fun. The journey has been really fun, yeah.
I want to. So there's a book, and I can't remember the name of it, but I think it's like the horse and the mouse and the bear or something like that. And it's like these four animals, and like a theme of the book. I think it's a children's book, but it's got like a very like practical, mature theme. And the question is like this little boy. It's like the boy and the horse and whatever. And I'll figure it out. Not during the show, I won't. But and the little boy is concerned because it's foggy, and he says, I can't see my way. Like, you're talking about the mountain. And like the horse says to him, like, well, can you see just to take one step forward? Mm-hmm. And the little boy's like, I can do that. And then we'll do that. And that was just it. And we'll do that. Because I think the alternative is like we get so bogged down in like the big thing, the journey at the end, you know, or it's like, just move forward. Yeah. Keep it moving. Move the ball down the field, you know?
That's a big thing for me, especially with like people who I work with, people who are like on my payroll and everything. It's figuring it out. You know, I'm the type of person that nobody really knows the answer, but we live during the greatest time in the world right now where all the answers are literally at our fingertips, right? We have Google, we have smartphones, now we have AI. Like, you know, my brother-in-law built or renovated his house off of YouTube, you know, like.
You mean that's not his, not what he does, he's not in construction?
He's a engineer.
Okay.
He's a engineer for Hamamatsu, I think.
Okay.
You know, little parts and modules and all that stuff. Right. Yeah, and so
he knows how to build things and put things together, but not a house.
Yeah, but he figured it out and renovated his house. And YouTube, so great. Like we have everything right now. So, you know, I'm all about figuring it out as you go, and that just makes you a better and stronger person.
Yeah, I think that's so cool, and you know, it's interesting because that word failure that people talk about, you know, like none of this is like a failure. It's like, okay, that's like not the way to do the thing. So like that figuring it out, and it was Edison who invented the incandescent bulb. I'm told, I wasn't there, but I'm told that he did. And when he was asked, like, you know, there was like 10,000 quote unquote failures. People would say like he failed 10,000 times, and he's like, no, I found 10,000 ways not to make the bulb. Yeah. That's all. And then that mindset of just like iterating on things and not being, or rather say it a different way, to give ourselves grace as we go through these things. I feel like you and I talked about grace recently, right?
Yeah, we did on my podcast.
Yeah,
like
we did.
We just have to get one person to say yes, find one open door. That's all you need. One to change your life.
What does that mean? Tell me more about that.
You just need one thing, one breakthrough, one person to kind of believe in you to change your life, you know.
Total thing, like, because like there's this path where maybe somebody might feel I'm not getting any momentum here, I'm not getting any traction, and then I do. And then now you're going down a different path.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, one thing that really just happened for me is I work within one of the groups I'm in. There's a cybersecurity company. Okay. He works with pretty big clients, government clients, all that stuff. And he called me one day and he was like, hey, Theo, I know you do websites, build websites and everything. One of my clients, government client, federal client, has a website that needs to be redone. There's a lot of problems on the back end, the WordPress, blah, blah. So had my team come in. My back end team is really good. We sat on a call with them, went through everything, called out all the problems we were gonna fix, and blew him away because nobody ever like did that with him.
When nobody did what? Spent the time?
Spent the time just in the front end to just give you a run through of the website.
And let me interrupt you. That is a billable situation, or
no? That was not a billable.
Okay, so
situation.
let's talk about that. So you if I want to be very clear. This was your due diligence. This was your rapport building. This was your assessment on what they had. And they hadn't had that experience from other providers.
No. And so they loved it. They're bringing us on board. Not only is his other client bringing us on board, we made such an impression that like in a week, we've had his other people refer us to 3 other of their clients that need the website built. So it's like, and
you want more of that business? You want the web design work?
I mean, we'll take anything. I'm not saying that, you know, we're at a place where it's just like, we're too good for that work. I don't think we're too good for any work. But we know what we're good at. We're good at marketing. We're good at video production. We're good at podcasting. Good at website building. So it just takes one open door. It takes one person to say yes.
And now that open door ends up turning to potentially, as we sit here now, 1 + 3 potential pieces of business.
Yeah, and who knows how much in the future.
Well, that's the ripple effect, man. I believe that goes on forever, and I think those opportunities, and I love that that takeaway though, that just you just need one person to say yes. And you know what I think of like now, and I would probably, as long as I'm on this planet, every time I do this, I'm gonna think of you, and I'll tell you why. Because you were like, when we were on your show, you're like, Tommy D, you got to be the first one. You got to be the first one to like your post. You got to be the first one to be happy, will you? And so like every time, and I will tell you this, truth be told, I would sometimes, forget is the wrong word because I didn't forget. I just didn't always put a little heart on something I did. And now like, I'm like, oh, Theo said that, I got to do that. So I go like, and I got to make sure that I'm always doing it. And every time I click that little heart or little like the face with the hugging heart or whatever, I'm like, Theo told me I got to be the first one to like myself.
Yeah, you got to be your own biggest fan.
And that part I had down. It was doing it on social media that I was challenged with, but I'll always remember that for you.
Yeah, you just got to be your own biggest fan. You know, what's the worst people are going to say? No?
No. 100%.
Then what happens when someone says no?
No.
Like, damn it, and then you just move on.
You move right on. Yeah. What I want to hear about, like, because we haven't really dived into or dove into, we didn't ever really talk about this whole thing with Long Island Select Healthcare and Roland. How did that even come up? Like, how did that happen, and what are you doing there?
So yeah, I've been doing marketing for a long time. Been doing marketing for a lot of nonprofits, education, healthcare for a long time, and so I'm part of a group called Long Island Elite. Shout out to Long Island Elite. And we had a member join the Long Island Elite, and her name is Maggie. She's part of Community RX. And Community RX is a good partner with Long Island Select Healthcare. Long Island Select Healthcare.
Community Care RX?
Yeah.
My buddy Hassam, is that who you're talking about? Hassam Maksud, he's the CEO
I think
of
he's
that.
the CEO. Maggie.
Yeah, he sat right there in that seat, man. He's been on Changemakers a bunch of months.
I haven't met Hassam yet,
we'll make sure that happens.
Are really good friends, and so Maggie and Hassam met the new CEO who started about 8 months ago at Long Island Select Healthcare, and he's a super, super smart guy.
Yeah.
Aaron Clark hails from Ohio, recently came from down south, I think, North Carolina, South Carolina, something like that, has successfully turned around multiple community health centers.
Awesome.
So they hired him.
Talk about that. What's a community health center, FQHC, federally
So
qualified
community
health
health center, FQHC, federally qualified health center. It's a health center that is for the community. We really don't turn anybody away, regardless of insurability or income. We say yes. We have a sliding scale, and we have about 16 different or 17 different specialties under our umbrella. You know, from general healthcare practice to optometry, dentistry, physical therapy. We have a very, very large IDD population. And we have 7 locations in Suffolk. Yeah. We just deal in Suffolk. So they brought Aaron Clark in to kind of turn everything around and, you know, due to the climate and everything, just fix everything. Yep. Because we've been around 9 years, and Aaron needed a new director of marketing and development. So
Maggie makes that connection?
So Maggie throws it in like our Long Island Elite channel.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, like, does anybody do this or something?
Yeah, and so one of my other good friends who's also part of Long Island Elite, Jennifer Fink is the president and CEO of Lutech Medical Industries. They make colposcopes. She was like, hey, Theo, I think this would be perfect for you. You should reach out to Maggie. Because I didn't even see the post.
Yeah.
So I reach out to Maggie. Maggie's like, yeah. Like, I'm going to introduce you to Aaron. She introduced me to Aaron. Me and Aaron hopped on a call. He liked what he heard. I put in my resume.
Were you going into it that way, though? I mean, were you thinking like this could be a client versus this could be a job?
I don't think I had any expectations.
Yeah, okay.
And that's what I've really been working on this year. I feel like,
which is around expectations?
Around like what's meant for me will be. So like I feel like I had a really rough start of the year, end of last year. I felt like I was riding high last year, and then I like kind of like crashed. And like, you know, things were tough with like money and business, and I got into like a really dark spot. So I started like listening to affirmations, journaling more, which I still do. That's awesome. And really started working on like I can't force things that like to happen. Like I can't force you to answer me back if you say you want to work with me, but now you're not answering my emails, right?
Right.
So I really did
control what you can control. Yeah.
So I did the What a Mountain Bee Will Be, and talked to Aaron, had a interview with the leadership team, and they brought me on board. And I've been on board about 4 months now, and it's been really awesome.
That's great, man.
Yeah, so
talk about the power of networking, connecting, you know, and all these things happen for that reason. And I'm on so many calls and so many meetings like you are, so I'm having trouble placing where this story happened that I'm about to say. It was yesterday, and I can't remember if it was a show I was doing or what it was, but the other person had said, you know, I don't know about you, Tommy, or something like, I think just like me, they said, all of the jobs I've had, like in the last 10 years, have come through relationships and connecting and networking. That was, and I go, of course I know what you're talking about, you know, and I tend to, by no means am I like mentoring any young people or anything like that, but I tend to get on these conversations with young people from time to time because somebody's kid just graduated from Hofstra here on Long Island, or somebody's kid just came back from college from somewhere else, and they're having a difficult time getting out there and getting kind of in the workspace, in the workplace. And I say, are you on LinkedIn? I say, do you have a LinkedIn profile? Like, they need to. And these young people, I'm so happy.
Don't sleep on LinkedIn.
100%.
Nice.
And when I hear that a young person who is in college has a LinkedIn, I'm like, high five. I'm like, that's the thing, man, because your social capital is it. It's all about that. It's all about the connection. It's all about the networking. I mean, even being around here at the studio today, right? Just talking with people, connecting with people, right? I see people, oh, I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. That's like the really cool stuff that, no question, it's invaluable. That's
building a studio, building our own studio is probably the greatest thing that could have ever happened to like me and everybody around me in terms of like networking and connecting.
Tell me why.
Because our studio, I wouldn't say a studio is used every day. Our studio is used out of the 31 days of the month. I would say the studio is used 15 to 16 days. So we're still like growing, even though we want to grow and expand our space. But every other day we have a different podcast being filmed. We have a different person in there. We have a different person renting the studio. And so we're having this conversation now, but like the people behind the board, shout out to you guys out there, you know, it's like being in class. You're hearing everybody's journey, everybody's profession, everybody's lecture, and some might resonate with you and some might not. You have the chance to shake everybody's hand and say, I want to stay in touch, and your network just grows and grows and grows. So having a studio where people are able to be creative, able to talk, able to tell their stories, as we talked about storytelling, I mean, I feel like I'm back in college. Like,
well, thank you for all that, because there's that collab piece where people get together and you're in this creative vibe and you're like, oh man, this is cool stuff. And people are doing business. You know, like I know even just being at your studio that day, and I try to do the same when we're over here, it's like, oh, wait, you hang out. I know you got to go, but like hang out because there's other guys coming through in like 15 minutes. I really want you guys to meet each other. So for somebody like me, it's like playtime, right? Because I get to make the moves that I want to make.
Can I tell you a secret?
Of course.
That I haven't really said out loud, which is like part of our growth that I really, really, really want to do. So I've always really, really wanted to open like a coffee shop, right? So right now our studio is like 200-300 square foot space. As I've spoken to you before, and now I guess the world is knowing, we are looking to grow into maybe a 2,000 to 3,000 square foot space.
It's 10x, man.
Yeah,
big.
We want to be able to, you know, we are about to do classes at our studio, AI classes, how to podcast classes. We're going to be doing that. Obviously, a bigger space would allow us to do that. You know, create more photos, videos, pictures, rentable space, events. But like, I really, really want to get a big enough space where, just like your other guest, Sosa Sandwiches.
Yeah, shout out Eddie Sosa. Yep.
I want to have my studio to have like in the front a small like cafe area.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the world is missing third spaces because of what you just said. Man. Because people come into the studios and they connect and they create. But having like a third space where people you don't have to use the studio, but you could walk up. We have like 3 or 4 chairs or tables. You get a just cappuccino.
It's almost like
cappuccino where people could like sit down and do their work or have a meeting.
It's a little bit of co-working space, right?
Yeah.
Almost, not exactly, not working, but like where you can schmooze and come and go, and maybe I'm never going to use a studio, but I'm like a member, whatever that means.
And we just have really good lattes. That's it. Like nothing crazy. Just the 5-thing menu: latte, macchiato, flat white, coffee. That's it. And maybe every day we'll go to...
So I would come in like any other coffee shop, but I buy myself and I sit down. Oh my God, look, Theo's here. Like, or here comes Eddie.
And then in the back space is where the huge like studio. Like, I would love to do that. That is my dream.
I'll tell you something, man. Since you're telling secrets, I had this whole idea because I love that model of the co-working space. Similar, I haven't really, in my experience, not that I've seen it all, but I haven't seen it done like out here on Long Island.
Oh yeah.
Right? But in the city, with WeWork and stuff, they always in those other brands. Tell me about it. What were you gonna say?
I was like, I mean, of course we've both worked in the city. Going to WeWork, going on the app, getting a $25 table, easy, anywhere in the city. But out here, it's like you have to find a coffee shop, but it has to be that good coffee shop.
Yeah, but even that, in this, dude, if I go and run a call or something like that, it's too loud.
I gotta go in my car.
First of all, Starbucks, no offense, but super loud. Like I end up in like, I'm really a Dunkin' Donuts guy, but like Dunkin' Donuts is definitely not the place I want to run a meeting on a call. But Starbucks a little bit more. But it's so freaking loud, man.
Yeah.
And if I'm vibing, if you and me are hanging out, it's cool. But if I'm trying to run a Zoom meeting or something like that, you can't do it.
Yeah, that's why you need like a little third space. Like third spaces. I read an article a while back about how third spaces are coming back. How Gen Z and what's Gen Alpha is now after Gen Z are really starting to bring back third spaces because there's no place to hang out anymore because the digital age has really made us silo to our rooms and our phones and everything. Now people want to hang out, so having like a creative space with a third space, and then maybe you have those little phone booths in the back.
If you need to have a quiet spot, right?
That's
Dude, I see this. I got a vision for like that, specifically as it relates. This is a big secret of mine, but here it comes. It's like about the nonprofit sector specific because of who I am, what I do. I see like WeWork-ish nonprofit space, man. Right with. You got literally the 2-person office, the 10-person office, and then the onesie-twosies, right? Yeah. With like the communal space that you're used to from like that other model. And then, but here's the kicker, which is for me, it's got 3 podcast studios in there, right? But they're not even on the level. They're like, in my mind, it looks like a DJ booth. Remember, like the DJ booth, like raised, like like 10 feet in the air, and you say, "Oh my God, look, there's Tommy D and Theo, and they're doing that show that they do on Tuesday." Yeah. Wouldn't that be a cool spot? Like, you think,
I have to wait till I show you. Wait till I send you
vision for what you're trying to do.
Our vision and our mock-up and everything that I've been meaning to send you. Like, it's right there.
All right, so this is like
right there.
And to me, that's the thing where you got cool. We got this powwow session. You can get together. We'll meet in the coffee, and do that, and then everybody goes to their corners, does a thing, and come back, and where it's a spot. Like, love that third space, man. We're gonna have to continue this, like when we shut the cameras off, and you and I get to talk because we're out of time. But I just think it's brainstorming ideas like this that's super fun. Where, especially something you said, there's not places to hang out. You know what is really not places to hang out for? Like my kids who are in their teens. There's no places for these kids to hang out. That's a whole nother show, a whole nother thing. But walking up and down in the neighborhood in parks at night is not the best spot. No. So I'm trying to figure out that. Listen, how can they follow you? How can they connect with you?
So you can find me on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok at Nam Studios. My personal, you can find me on LinkedIn and TikTok at Theo Massillon.
Say it the right way. Say it your way.
Theo Massillon.
Massillon. With no N. You don't say the N. Massillon, right?
Yes.
I got it. See?
Yeah, you got it.
I think you were trying to say it nicely for everybody. I like the way you say it. Massillon.
Massillon.
Massillon. Massillon. All right. Tommy D with a D, because I don't want you to try and figure out how to pronounce that, gang, because you'll mess it up anyway. Demisa. All right, listen, I am the nonprofit sector connected. This show is called Long Island Changemakers. Shout out to Special Sweets Bakery. Patty and the team. Love the lid. I need a new one. I need different colors on this hat. We'll talk about that later on. This is your show. This is your island. This is another In Focus production. See you later. Bye, gang.